I have the 5 power principles to share with you today. So as Jim had said, he was just recently in Canada, and it was actually 13 years ago that I moved to Canada. And it was an amazing experience, and that is what actually prompted my kids to be ambitious and to now be around the world. So my daughter is living in the Middle East, and she is helping Syrian refugees, her and her husband, and they started an NGO over there. So it's all about relationships, and that's what I want to talk to you today about, is that we can increase our revenues and have the results that we want when we are focused on relationships. It's all about relationships, right? Does anybody have conflict in their relationships? Have you ever had conflict in the workplace, or maybe in a personal relationship at home? Mother-in-law, kids. I've raised 4 kids, 4 millennials. I mean, yeah. Thank you. And they are all working and successful today. Got them all through school and out of the house. But relationships can be a struggle. And if we don't have the tools, then it can actually disrupt us, right? It can disarm us. I think of Barbara speaking earlier about stress. And stress can, if you don't have a plan in place, it can wreak havoc. And I work with my clients who have experienced a lot of stress. They're going through a lot of stress in their business, in their personal relationships. My 5 power principles. The first power principle starts with the letter P, and it's for productivity. Productivity is what we need to do in order to accomplish and increase our revenues in our business, right? Productivity is number 1. But so often, we don't have a vision of where we're going to go. As Rich mentioned earlier, we need to have that vision. So I have helped my clients be able to have a clear vision on where they want to go in their business. Or if they're struggling in their workplace, taking a different approach and actually starting a business. So I had a client come to me. Doug was working at a large corporation, and he actually hated his job. He was an engineer, but because of the boss that he was working with, he was under such pressure and such stress that he was depressed. He would come home and he was laying on the couch being unproductive and disconnected. So he came to me, and when I worked with him and his wife, we got clarity on what his dream was, what his vision was, and it wasn't to be an engineer. How many people do you know, or you've been in a job and that's not what you're passionate about? That wasn't what you really wanted to do. And so we determined, we got some healing, and I gave them some tools to transform their relationship and to get clear on the vision so that they could be productive. And they, within a month, he quit his job, they sold their house, and they moved to a different state, and they started a business. And it was because they got clarity in what they wanted to accomplish. So the P for productivity in our power principle is that we have the power to accomplish great things. Everybody's been given gifts and talents and abilities and experience, and now it's going forward in power to be productive. And the way that you do that is really understanding your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because if you don't understand why you're doing it, then you're not going to be as productive. Does that make sense? So sometimes our why is our story from the past. When we've struggled in a relationship or in a situation, a life experience, it actually puts a burden on our heart to help others. So our story doesn't have to define our present. Our past doesn't define our present, but our vision can define our present, and we can have clarity to go forward and be more productive. We have to have passion. You have to have passion and purpose. So that's what's going to get you to be more productive. The O in our power principles is for opportunities. So when you get clear on what you want to do and you want to move forward in being productive, then you will notice that you will have opportunities that will present themselves. For instance, I had the opportunity to interview Mel Gibson. Anybody would like to interview Mel Gibson? Okay. Well, I knew because of my passion and my purpose that I wanted to embrace that opportunity. So when a coach gave me the opportunity to interview Mel Gibson, I was right there. I signed up immediately. And also to have opportunities to meet other successful entrepreneurs, actresses, and actors. So it's who we surround ourselves with, right? It's who we connect with. It's all about those relationships that are going to give us the opportunities. We don't know the one person in this room who you're going to connect with that's going to open up a door for you to be able to take your business to the next level, to get the results that you want, to be profitable, to be successful, to increase your revenues. It's all about relationships. The W in my power principle is for wealth. We all want to create wealth. As Rich talked about, we want to think of our business as creating wealth, leaving a legacy, having passive income. So as he mentioned, we don't want to be working in our business. We want to be working on our business. And so having the idea of getting people in place so that you can actually have passive income and have multiple businesses, but getting people to come and form those relationships and those partnerships so that you're not working the 14 hours a day, every day in your business. So we want to create wealth, and there's nothing wrong with creating wealth. Sometimes we have limiting beliefs, and we have that scarcity mindset that we need to get rid of, right? Wealth gives us the opportunity to help more people. The more money you make, the more people you can help. We want to create wealth so that we can leave that legacy behind. But wealth isn't just about money, is it? Wealth is about our health. Wealth is taking care of your body, your temple, your mind, your spirit, your soul, and as well as your physical body. So I come alongside my clients and help them create wealth, holding them accountable, not only financially, but in their whole body and their whole mindset. What are the attitudes that you have, or the people that you work with have, that are just doing things because it just is habitual? So having the right mindset is really important for your success and what you want to accomplish. Pushing through the limiting beliefs that you can be successful and you can accomplish anything that you set your desires on. You have a desire in your heart. The other wealth component is our relationships. And establishing healthy relationships is really important to accomplish those goals. And if we don't have successful relationships in the marketplace with our employees and our staff, or those partnerships, or our clients, or those people at home, if we have people that don't understand our mission and our goals, our purpose and our passion, then we're going to stay stuck. We're not going to have the support. Anybody have any people in their lives that maybe don't understand what you're doing? They don't get you. Like, we're entrepreneurs. We're different. We're driven. We have ideas that other people don't understand. So we have to be able to have successful conversations and communication so that we can get them on the same focus moving forward in our businesses. And then the E is for always looking at the end results. Looking at the end, what are we doing? So when we have that end in mind and we want to accomplish our business goals, when we are clear, we can get there, and it makes it easier, right? It makes it easier to accomplish, make the decisions that we need to make. Indecision, we can get rid of indecision, we can get rid of fear, anxiety, worry about the future, when we're absolutely clear and we have that end goal in mind. And then the R is for responsibility. So we each have a responsibility to use our gifts and talents and expertise to help other people and to accomplish our dreams. And when we take responsibility to do that, we will have more success. So we also need to define those responsibilities and help in our workplace define what we're going to do and what we're going to be responsible for, but also what other people are going to be responsible that we're working with. And that includes the client. When I work with my clients, I have a responsibility as a coach to help them be successful in their businesses and develop the relationships. But they also have a responsibility to do the homework and follow through with what I've asked them to do, to keep them accountable in their business and in their relationships. So defining those responsibilities helps us to alleviate unmet expectations. Unmet expectations happen all the time. We have an idea of what we want, but we don't communicate it effectively, and we don't define those responsibilities oftentimes. That can happen oftentimes in our homes, right? We have an idea of what our spouse or our kids should do, but we haven't even defined and said what we expect or what we want. So it's really important to understand what you want and what you want others to do, and to be able to communicate that effectively so that you can walk in power and authority to accomplish all that you want to accomplish in your business and in your personal and professional relationships. So remembering to be productive is to really be clear on your vision, to embrace opportunities, to create the wealth through relationships and taking care of your body and your health, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, as well as then having that end goal, having the end in mind, and taking responsibility for what you are gifted to do. Thank you.